It's Levi from Hardwired. I know it's been a while since we've spoken. There have been so many horror games that have come out this year that I've missed out on playing and writing reviews for. My life was completely buggered. Recently, it's been nothing but suffering and misery as everything in my world was thrown into flux around me. I keep trying to reach out to others for stability, only to remind myself that introducing new people into my life only opens me up for another goodbye later. It's best just to isolate oneself from the agony of caring for others. The depths of my sorrow have only been matched by the height of my shame and discomfort.
But we're back now just in time for the Texas Chain Saw Massacre developed by Gun Media of Friday the 13th the game fame. We all know the sad story there, that pesky lawsuit prevented any new Friday the 13th content from being made. This forced the many attempts at a 13th film in the movie franchise to be put on hold, and unfortunately the Halloween franchise has now beaten Friday the 13th to 13 films. But it also caused the development of Friday the 13th the game to stop as well, leading to Gun Media moving on to a new project, which brought us to another legendary horror franchise getting a new video game. Whereas 13 was an unlucky number for Friday the 13th, it's become a lucky number when it comes to everyone's favorite cannibalistic family. The Texas Chain Saw Massacre is an asymmetrical horror title, though it's dangerously close to being symmetrical, as we now have a 3 versus 4 dynamic. Just as with Friday the 13th the game, you can tell how much authenticity Gunn poured into this game. They even spelled chainsaw incorrectly like in the original film, where it was spelled as 2 words instead of 1 word. All the original film's sequels would remedy that spelling error. The remake and its prequel, and even the 2 requels, all had the correct spelling as well. But grammar aside, the game boasts accurate character models and environments. The slaughterhouse looks immaculate and is laid out just like it was in the film. The We Slaughter barbecue gas station in the game is spot on as well. The 3 OG Slaughter family members are all looking crisp and on fleek. Even the way characters move in this game is precise, especially considering none of the original actors reprise their roles here. Leatherface's chainsaw dance is faithfully recreated by Kane Hodder, who did the mocap for Leatherface in this game. And if you don't know who Kane Hodder is, then we can't be friends. The man is Jason Voorhees, while many others have portrayed the hockey mask-clad, machete-wielding revenant in his sprawling film series. No one plays the character with the physicality and psychology that Kane brought to the role. The sound design is also stuffed full of traditional sounds from the film franchise. The classic camera shutter sound makes its return in all its glory. Many of the family members utter their famous movie lines as they chase down the victims. I love the fact that you can rev Leatherface's chainsaw while playing him, and how terrifying it is to hear the chainsaw getting closer and closer to you as a victim. Just all around good sound design and peerless attention to detail. Hell, they even dropped the game on August 18th, 2023, which is the 50th anniversary of the first film's original release of August 18th, 1973, a day known and celebrated as Texas Chainsaw Massacre Day. As I stated earlier, the game is a 3 family member versus 4 victim setup. There are 5 different family members to choose from and 5 different victims. Unlike Friday the 13th, you can't pick more than one of the same character. The 5th survivor that no one picks is used in the opening cinematic for each match, where they are hung on a meat hook and gutted by Leatherface. If you are playing as a victim, then your objective is to escape the property by finding the items needed to open the various gates to the property. If you are playing as the family, then your goal is just to kill the 4 victims and prevent them from escaping. Pretty simple. Each victim comes with their own special ability that they can use to try and escape the family. Connie has an ability that lets her pick locks faster, but at the cost of stamina and her family proximity warnings. It also doesn't consume the lockpicking tool. Sonny has an ability that allows him to detect any noise made by anyone around him and to be able to track their movements. Julie, who is my favorite victim because she was mocapped and voiced by Scout Taylor Compton, and as far as I'm concerned, she's horror royalty, especially after her phenomenal performance as a Laurie Strode spiraling into despair and insanity in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, has an ability that lowers the amount of stamina drained when sprinting and also renders her untraceable by the family. Leland has an ability that lets him shoulder block his pursuers, stunning them. Anna has an ability that significantly reduces the amount of damage she takes from attacks or falls, and it also gives her temporary immunity to poison. The family members also all have their own abilities as well. The hitchhiker can lay bone traps that highlight victims when they step on them, as well as being able to squeeze through crawl spaces and cracks in the walls to keep following victims. The cook can focus on any noise being made and highlight the victim that made the noise, and also put padlocks on doors and gates. Leatherface can of course maim victims with his chainsaw, as well as destroy barricades and doors.
Look what your brother did to the door!
There are two family members that were created for this game with input from Kim Hinkle, Sissy and Johnny, or Johnny Stabby Hands as Andrew called him when I let him play around in the game. He was all walking around with him like, "Hey, I'm stabbing here. Nobody escapes Johnny Stabby Hands. Hey, you better get out of here. I'll give you a Johnny Stabby Hands classic, and that's being stabbed." Sissy can poison items throughout the map, or just blow poison into the face of her quarry, as well as follow victims through crawl spaces and gaps. She can even use hiding spots to jump out for an ambush. Johnny's ability allows him to temporarily see and track victims' recent footsteps. He can also instantly barge doors down using his strength, and his melee attacks are concussive. The only thing I really have to say that's negative about the game is how long it takes to find a match and then to get the match started. I know that it took forever in Friday the 13th the game as well, but that game would actually start if a couple of people were missing. In this game, you get into the lobby, you pick your character, then you wait for everyone else to pick theirs. Only most of the time one person will leave the lobby, probably because someone has chosen the character they wanted to play. The game rarely will replace the one missing player, and the timer ticks down to 0 and it boots everyone back out to the main menu because there weren't enough players to start, forcing you to have to re-queue. The wait times are definitely the scariest part of this game. With the Texas Chain Saw Massacre, Gunn has once again proven their passion and love for horror cinema. It's a great homage to one of horror's greatest masterpieces. Like Friday the 13th before it, its dedication to its source material is the greatest strength it has. Unlike many other asymmetrical horror titles, the victims actually feel like victims in this game, as you are bleeding out and limping when you break out of your confinement at the beginning of each match. It's a bucket of bloody fun to play, and the only drawback are the long wait times to get into a game. The Texas Chain Saw Massacre gets an 8. It's great. For Hardwired, I've been Levi Barner. If you liked this video and want to see more content like it, hit the subscribe button and turn the bell on for notifications. I'll see you the next time that someone's flesh is split open and their insides end up on the outside.